Do you want to learn, understand, love, and enjoy the beauty of advanced physics? The question that I'm asking you, you can get the answer of that questions immediately when you'll be joining me in the next few minutes. How are you, everybody who is watching this program? Very happy to have you. I would like to welcome you into our fantastic moment where that we have to make sure that we transform your mindset from the previous state to the next extremely and extraordinary state. My name is Olenjolai, simply just can call. I'm a Tanzanian and I'm doing this program specifically for all the Tanzanian advanced secondary students. I'm here, I thank God by His own grace, He has called me to be a national teacher of advanced physics, a national teacher of advanced mathematics. I'm a national teacher of advanced chemistry, and I thank God by His own grace, He has called me also to be a national teacher of basic applied mathematics in Form 5 and Form 6. But that was not enough, but also God has enlarged my tent of teaching, and He has called me to be also international teacher in advanced physics, an international teacher in advanced chemistry, international teacher in advanced mathematics, and international teacher in basic applied mathematics for Form 5 and Form 6. So I thank God it's only by His own grace. And we have, I and you who is watching this program, we have to give our sovereign God all the glory and praise because He's the one who is working in me. So I'll take this opportunity first to welcome you into one of our online advanced secondary school. It's called TANZANIA Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. Secondly, I would like to welcome you into one of our official YouTube channel that's called TANZANIA Online A-Level City School in square bracket Olenjolai. So I know that you have so many questions in your mind that asking about it. TASO, just the abbreviations of TANZANIA Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. Wonderful. So one of the common questions that you're asking yourself, Olenjolai, do you want to solve my problem? Olenjolai, can you solve my problems about advanced physics? Olenjolai, can you help me to understand and master advanced physics? Olenjolai, are you solving about learning and mastering advanced physics? Then, Olenjolai, can you teach me how can I apply this information in my daily life? And then another question, I'm completely given up with advanced physics. How can you help me? So those are the questions I know that most of you are asking themselves whenever they find something relating to their problems. The answer to those questions are, we are here to solve your problems, and we are here to make sure that we teach you and train you to understand. We teach you and train you to understand, love, and enjoy the beauty of advanced physics for the Form 5 and advanced physics for the Form 6. That is our assignment. How are we going to make it different? Wonderful. Our teaching and training is unique, and it's exceptional and it's in extraordinary level because we are using a systematic way of teaching our advanced secondary students are from the simplest concept into the intermediate concept into the advanced concepts, and then just we challenge them and we ask them to keep these information because they will need it to apply or they will need to use it in learning some other advanced aspects in engineering, in medical science, in pharmacy, in laboratory science. So in different aspects of life, they can encounter this concept that you're teaching them right now. So we have to ask them and we tell them to keep this information. So we are here in order to teach you. How are we going to teach you? We'll be using different teaching methodology, I'll be using different teaching aids, and I'll be focusing on teaching all the three groups of learners: slow learners, intermediate learners, and even faster learners. And I know that myself I can't make it, but in the presence of God everything is possible. So my God is here, and He will be in every session that I'm going to teach you, and He will be explaining and presenting and opening your mind to understand what I'm going to teach you, even if they don't want to understand. So understanding is the heart of TASO. That is the heart of our TASO. And actually we disagree about cramming, but possibly you've been placed in cramming. Maybe that's your own trick. But for us, we don't appreciate the concepts of cramming because it will not help you to solve real life problems. So another common question is, what visions do you have? What the visions of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary Schools in square bracket Olenjolai. Wonderful. We have a vision. Why should we have a vision? Because Proverbs 29, chapter 29, verse 18, it say that where there is no vision, people perish. So we've been asking God, who the founder and the sponsor of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School, about his own vision for this. Why do we need to also in this generation? Why does Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai will be doing radical change in the mind of advanced secondary students? This is the reason. We have an assignment. This is our vision. We have an assignment to teach training, incubating, mentor advanced secondary students on how they can extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the classroom instructions in physics, chemistry, later on biology, because I have one of my assistants who will be dealing with biology in future, best mathematics and not in advanced mathematics, and combine the output with the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that you are going to teach them to extract it from the Word of God in order to solve real-life problems. So the main objective of TOASO is to teach our students to think it differently and to think outside of the classroom instructions, to think outside of the class, to think outside of the physics laboratory, to think outside of the chemistry laboratories, and think, how can I apply this information in order to solve real-life problems, even small-scale real-life problems. I know what I'm telling you, it may be actually impossible. Yeah, myself, as your teacher, who is going to teach you, I'm a product of what I'm telling you. For the number of years, for more than 5 years, I thank God by His own grace, He has been teaching me on how can I extract knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from what I know or what I taught in His calling, just in my callings of teaching and my callings of authority, in my callings of engineering, and combined with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that I used to extract it from the Word of God, and then solve a particular life problems. So what the example of real life problems that I'm solving? The one that right now I'm solving. What I'm solving, this is the real life problems. I studied advanced physics Form 5 and advanced physics Form 6 for more than 12 years ago. But I noticed that it's one of the challenging subjects that it is difficult for students to go himself or herself. But another challenge that I encountered is difficulty. There is a scarcity of excellent or competent teachers who have capability and who loves to teach advanced physics in clean, simple, and actual that in a truth way. As most of the guys they used to learn, because what they used to teach you, you'll never find any of the examples in examination. But I will never speak about anybody else in these programs, because we have a lot to speak about advanced physics. So I will never just criticize anybody else. I respect other teachers, and even yourself as my student, take this advantage, take this information, but also take advantage to learn from other teachers who loves advanced physics, who master advanced physics. Because I don't know everything about advanced physics, I'm always learning about advanced physics. I know small portions of it, but I have a responsibility to teach others about what I know about advanced physics. And that's what I'm doing right now. Right? So others might be competent in a certain concept rather than myself. I respect other teachers, and I really respect it, and I'm always praying for them to make sure that they pursue what they have been given to pursue by God Himself. Okay, all right. So let us go into the registration steps into TOASO. How can you register yourself permanently in our online schools? The first step, if you don't have an email, create or open a new email. How are you going to create or open a new email? Just go into the Google and then just put the questions in the search bar. How can I create a new email? So we'll be asked whether Yahoo or Gmail. Then we'll see people who have already answered that question, and you follow the steps and you create your email. And you have to remember you keep your username and your password. The next step that this is the step that has to be achieved by the students who advanced several students who have an email and also who have created it today. You have to sign in YouTube by using your email, right? And then the third step, we ask you to say TOASO. TOASO is abbreviations of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai, right? So don't write this one because it's not existing. But write this way: Tanzania Online Endeavor Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. Wonderful. So then, once you search, you'll see the icons with the Tanzania national flag, and then you see the names of our channel there, and then you see the number of videos and the number of subscribers. The next step now, we can ask you that, just click the round buttons. That's the first step. So once you see this one, click the round buttons. When you click the round buttons, then a new page will get opened. So you will be taken inside to ASO, right? So when we take it inside to ASO, what will you see as the headlines? You will see this horizontal toolbar written home, videos, playlisting, community, channel, and what about. So just to go down of your video at the right hand side, at the bottoms of your right hand side, you will see a software button so you can subscribe. Click these buttons only once. Once you click, it will change automatically itself into subscribe. And that was the color will change of the backgrounds and the texting. And then soon you will see the icons of 40 of the bell. Click this icon of bell, you see 3 options. We ask you to choose the options of 40 of all. That is. So again, the first stage. So up to this stage, you've already subscribed, you've already registered permanently into ASO. Why should you register yourself? That is a very good question. The aim for you to register is in order to get official notification from the YouTube once we add a new video. We have a vision, we have a picture that we've been given by God, that we have an assignment to create more than 600 videos that will teach advanced physics, the beauty of advanced physics from 5 and from 60. So 2 subjects. Advanced chemistry from 5 from 60, other 2 subjects, so make 4 subjects. Advanced physics and from 5 and 4, and advanced physics from 60. Thus make total 46 subjects. And then basic applied mathematics from 5 and basic applied mathematics from 60 makes the total of 80 subjects. So we have a vision of creating and producing more than 600 videos of teaching advanced science and advanced mathematics in a clean, simple, and interesting and just entertainable language, so that every student, every lover of science, every lover of mathematicians can take this advantage and these contents and then get transformed in mindset, right? So the other 3 steps, the other 3 steps. The other 2 steps is just for you to understand how you can access our contents easily. First, when you come back, so again, you can come up, into this horizontal toolbar, which is headlines of our channel. And then go to the 30 headlines, which is written playlist. Click there. When you click there, you'll find a playlist written measurements. In that playlist, you'll find all the videos about measurements, all the videos about dimension, and all the videos about the error. And you'll find them from the first video to the last video. Because this one is session 2. And this session 2 is titled as measurement. So today I'm going to teach you about measurement and do corrections of the homework 1, measurement and physical measurements of physical quantity. So I can say just that one. Okay, measurement and physical quantity. Okay, so let me just put this one. And physical quantity. Measurements and physical quantity. Okay, so wonderful. So that is, so it means that this is session 2. We have dynamic session 00, session 1, and this is session 2. And in case of measurements, we are going to have more than 20 sessions. So you'll find the collections of all the 20 sessions in the one playlisting, and you'll find them have been arranged from the first session to the last session. So when you start learning, then you know what will be the next session and the next session and next session. Again, we believe that you're gonna you'll love, you'll enjoy our content. So you'll be thinking how you can share with other pre-Form 5 students, how you'll share this content with other Form 5 students, how you'll share this content with Form 6 students, how you'll share with others advanced secondary students who are studying in Kenya. How can you share this content with other advanced students studying in Egypt? How can you share this content with other advanced students who are studying in Indonesia, in Europe? Then the YouTube platforms has given a simplified way of sharing this video link via the social media. So you can click there, just to check at the bottoms there, you'll see the icons written share. So once you click that share, you'll be given the software. The software itself will give you the link of the video, and then so you can send it to somebody else whom you know, whose you know what his email, okay, his email. So you can send some the email, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. Wonderful. So now you have good news, and I will give you an announcement later. Let us go into today's business and cover the concepts of the today. We'd like to welcome you into the Department of Advanced Physics, and the subject of the day is called Advanced Physics, and the main topic is called, this main topic one, we call it mechanics. Excuse me. Main topic one, yes, the main topic one is called mechanics, and this contents is for the pre-form 5. This contents also has from 5 students, pre-form 5, from 5 students, from 60 QT reciters of the following 4 combinations in Tanzania: PCM, PCB, PGM, and the PMC. So it means P stands, all of these 4 P's stands for what? Advanced Physics. So they have an assignment to learn advanced and understand advanced physics. Okay, so this is just because physics, it's a as we learned in the previous sessions, physics is a theoretical and practical subject. So whenever we go into the physics lab, we as physicists or physics teachers, we have to wear these overcoats, the white overcoats, right? So the white overcoats or any other color, but just I prefer this one. So that when I wear this one, I'm giving you the image that even if you'll be working in industries or you'll be working in different areas where physics is applied, maybe you'll be working as physicians. Even that's why physicians are wearing these overcoats, white overcoats. So it's very interesting. It's kind of the big image that should be built in your mind, and I want to build in the mind of my students. However, that myself, I'm an electronics and telecommunication engineer formally, and informally I'm an electrical engineer and computer scientist. So we do wear this also in workshop, because in engineering we don't have labs, we just have 40 workshop. That's the extensions. But because I know that there are some other students of mine who will be like to pursue engineering programs. So just stay tuned. One day God will give me an opportunity, and I will tell you about the beauty of engineering in extraordinary picture rather than the engineering you hear in Tanzania. You can take engineering into the next level, right? And you have to think that you have to go extra miles, and you have to do something which is unique. So let us go into the today's session. So in the previous session, basically that was session 1. We've been dealing with different issues. We had a focus of what? First, the main focus. We said we have a main topic we call the mechanics, and this mechanics contains 11 topics, if you do remember. And then we mentioned, but before we mention the later 11 topics, I told you about the branches of what? Branches of mechanics. So I told that mechanics has what? How many branches? 4 branches. The first one is called what? Measurements, which we are dealing with right now. And these measurements, it has 2 topics: dimension and error. Okay? The first branch. The second branch, we say it's the branch we call the mechanics. This branch of mechanics, it has almost 60 topics. The first one is called Newton's law. The second one is called the gravitation of the rigid body. Okay? Then the next one is called the projectile motion. The other one is called uniform circular motion. And the other topic is called the simple harmonic motion. And the other one is called the gravitation. Okay? Gravitation. So these are the 6 topics that we have discussed. The third branch, we discussed it, or I told you that another branch of mechanics is called the fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics, and the viscosity. And viscosity. So fluid mechanics and viscosity. And this has only one topic which carry the same name as the names of the branch of mechanics. So it called the fluid mechanics and the viscosity. So fluid mechanics and the viscosity. Then the first branch is called the property of property of matter. So property of matter. So the subject is property of matter. Then here we have how many topics? 3 topics. The first one is called the kinetic energy theory, right? The second one is called elasticity. The third one is called the third one is called the surface tension. So we have total in mechanics 11 chapters. And then I began to define to you what is science. Because we can learn physics and then we forget that it's a branch of science. So it's a one branch of science. So we discussed about that. Then I taught you about what is physics. Okay. Then I left it the homework one. Okay, the homework one. So now let us begin for the today's session. Correction of what? Of homework 1. So the homework 1, the questions were stating that what is, so this is question, the question, what is measurement? I ask you to define it and then submit your solution in the comment section. So the first terminology that we are dealing today is called the measurement. Stay with me. Measurement. Measurement. It's not a new term for you. You heard it since you met with a subject called the physics informal measurement, right? So that's the way. So, and then the questions, this is the question that you want to answer. So what is measurement? Ladies and gentlemen, what is measurement? What is measurement? What is measurement? What is measurement? Are you ready to dance in physics? What is measurement? Ask your neighbor, what is measurement? At the chorus, okay? What is measurement? Wonderful. So I found measurement is one of the powerful words in physics and science. So when the Holy Spirit asked me during my preparations when he went in his cancer, then asked me, son, you have to understand different definitions of measurement because you used to encounter it in different topics and different fields of what of science. So I found 3 definitions. I found more than 3, but God has given me permissions to teach you 3 definitions. So what is measurement? So we say that measurement is a determination. Measurement is a determination of the size. Is a determination of the size or magnitude. You may choose either of these 3 definitions or magnitude of something. How? So these are the definitions of magnitude or size of what of something by comparing what? By comparing that unknown quantity that you want to measure, that unknown quantity that you want to measure, unknown quantity with some standard. With some standard quantity. Some standard quantity of equal nature, known as measurement unit. Known as measurement unit. Known as measurement unit. So measurement is a determination. Okay? Measurement is a determination. It's a determination of what? Of size or magnitude of something by comparing that unknown quantity with some standard. So we should have a standard quantity of equal nature known as measurement unit. What does this mean? This is wonderful and powerful. For example, I want to know my length, right? So it means that in order for me to measure, so my length is unknown. It's a physical quantity, right? And then in order for me to know the length, or in order to know my own length, then we should actually find a certain standard quantity of the same nature. It means that of the length that will be compared to the length to my own length. For example, one of the standard, this is 1 meter ruler, right? So this is the standard one, right? It's a standard. So if I want to measure, it means that the height, we call it just the height, okay? So the height of Olenjolai from the height may be to the stomach here. Then I can measure and then they can find that it's 70 centimeter, which is 0.7 meter. So there it means I did measurement. don't think that the measurement is kind of more technical. We are doing measurement in our daily life. So if we are doing measurement in our daily life, it means we are encountering problems of measurement in our daily life. So it means that these are determinations of size or magnitude of something. So for example, in my example, okay, when I was measuring myself, I am something. And then how we do? So by comparing a known quantity with some standard quantity of equal nature, known as measurement unit. So before I give you an example, let me give you the second way of defining the measurement. Are you ready for that? Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay, so measurement is a quantitative description. Measurement is a quantitative. Measurement is a quantitative description. Measurement is a quantitative description of one or more fundamental properties. Of one or more fundamental property. More or one fundamental property. At the minimum of 40, measurement is a quantitative description of one or more fundamental property. Fundamental properties. Properties, plural, properties. Fundamental properties compared to a standard. Compared to a standard. Compared to a standard. So measurement is a quantitative description of one or more fundamental properties compared to a standard. That's another definition. So it's a quantitative. It's not a qualitative. So we are dealing with quantity. A quantity, magnitude. Right? Quantitative descriptions. It's the descriptions about magnitude of one or more fundamental properties compared to a standard. When we say fundamental properties, we are talking about fundamental physical quantities, which will cover them later on in this next session. Okay? Or in the next session. Depends to the materials and the limitations that will be given by the Lord Himself. Because He's the one who said that it is enough. Okay? Oh, then again, other sources define measurement or measurement. Measurement. My dear student, measurement. What is measurement? Measurement is a process. Is a process of what? Of finding. So measurement is a process of finding the dimension. The dimension of what? Of the physical quantity. Dimension of the physical quantity. The dimension of the physical quantity. So measurement is a process of finding. The process of finding the dimension of the physical quantity. So this is the process of finding the dimension of the physical quantity. Please pause the video and then just record those 7 steps so that you can review them at any time. Thank you for doing that. Okay. So the other alternative definition of measurement is a process of finding the dimension, as well as studying the dimension, finding the dimensions of the physical quantity. Then by what? By applying basic principles, hypotheses, and formula. Processes and the formulas. So this is what you have to do. Okay? So physical quantity, by applying basic principles. basic principles. Applying basic principles. Basic principles, hypotheses, and the formulas. So that is the set definitions of the word measurement. Measurement is a process of finding the dimensions of the physical quantity by applying basic principles, hypotheses, and formula. So that's another definition. So simply, measurement is what? It's the process of finding dimensions. That's why we'll be learning a subtopic of measurement, which is called dimension. So it's a process of finding dimensions of what? Of the physical quantity. How? By applying basic principles, hypothesis, and formula. And I think that with these three definitions of measurement, you have understood and will choose one of them so it's best for you, right? Maybe the first definitions or second definitions or third definitions, one of them I believe might be best for you to remember. Whenever we ask even by your children, what is measurement? Because your children will tell you, okay, Father, you have studied about physics. What is measurement? Today, our teacher, when got in class, that is your son, or your daughter is asking you that question. Today, when our teacher came in the class, asking us students, what is measurement? Okay? So, again, another information that's important for you is this one, but it's not, does not have another meaning, so I cannot start the paragraph. Okay, another information is measurement is the cornerstone. Measurement is a cornerstone. Measurement is a cornerstone of what? So measurement is a cornerstone of trade. In trade, you're doing measurement. Of science. In science, you're doing measurement. Okay? Again, measurement is a cornerstone in what? Okay? In technology, you are doing measurement. For example, internet technology, you are doing measurement. In engineering, we are doing measurement, right? Engineering, we are doing measurement. In processing industries, we are doing measurement. Industries. In design, we are doing measurement. Design. In maintenance, maintenance, we are doing measurement. In also in quantitative research and so in maintenance, so we're doing maintenance, construction, okay? So in constructions of bridge, constructions of house, in constructions activities, we're doing measurement. So in different aspects, we are doing measurement. Even in thinking that you're doing measurement, in finance, so you're doing measurement. We're always doing measurements as a human being, right? So in transportation, we're doing measurement. In transportation, we're doing measurement. And even also in quantitative. Okay, so before I go to the next concept of giving you examples of measurement, my dear students, I would like to insist you about these two concepts. The first one, remember how you can define appropriately and correctly the word measurement. So what is measurement? Ladies and gentlemen, I expected you to write to me one of these definitions because I took this definition from some of the reference materials, books and notes that I've mentioned in session 00, the general introductions of advanced physics from 5. So I mentioned more than 12 reference books, right? So I used it, at least I took this definition from different sources because they have the same meaning but in different ways of teaching, and I don't want to teach you how you can pray. So let us do the final study before we go, because this is the fundamental topic. I'll be teaching you in a very simplified language, in a very encouraging language about the topic of measurement, because it's the first topic. Pre-Form 5, you're warmly welcome into advanced education. Okay? So because this is the first video first topic will be what it will be teaching you step to step slowly, and then later on we just increase the speed because we know that now in your mind you know what the meaning, at least you know what the meaning of advanced physics. So the first definition, measurement is determinations of size or magnitude of something, okay, something by comparing that unknown quantity with some standard or the quantity of equal nature known as a measurement unit. So I gave you an example, if you do remember. I told you that, for example, if I want to know the height, my height from here to there, means that to the top of my head, to here, right? Then this is a known quantity. How can I know it? I should take, it means that the measurement tool, which is called the standard. It means that its height is known. So for example, this is the meter ruler. So the meter ruler, this is 100 meter. So it has 100 centimeter, which is 1 meter, right? So now if I measure my height, so you can notice that it's almost 70 centimeter, which is 0.7 meter. So that's an example of measurement of the length of the height. Or measurement, in other words, you say the measurement is a quantitative descriptions of one or more fundamental properties compared to a standard. So when you say that quantitative descriptions, it's numerical descriptions, it's not a qualitative description, right? Of one or more fundamental properties, for example, length, mass, temperature, those are examples of fundamental properties compared to a standard. So we should have a standard. Even if you want to measure mass, we should have a standard. For example, if you go to the shop and then say, being asked by your mother or your father to buy 1 kilogram of sugar. So it means that the shop seller will be using the measurement, and that is all about measurements of mass to measure the mass of 1 kilogram of sugar. So what he or she is going to do actually should be take a stone, which its weight or its mass is equivalent to 1 kilogram, and place there. And then he or she will take some sugar and then put in the pan. So once she or he puts in the pans, whenever this masses balances, then that means that the amount of sugar which is measured is equivalent to 1 kilogram. So measurements, we apply measurements in our daily life, and I don't want you to think that measurement is something new. Measurement is the common, fundamental thing that we are using in our daily life. So the second definition is the third definition. Measurement is a process of finding the dimensions of the physical quantity by applying basic principles and basic principles, or by applying basic hypothesis, or by applying basic formulas. So it means that you will see later, for example, if you want to do measurements of area of this room or this class, then we'll be using the principle or the formula there, which is area is equal to, if this is the rectangle, so it's equal to length times width, right? That's the formula. So it means that measurement sometimes does not end in the measuring the quantity, because we measure the length and we measure the width of this room. But that's not the end. Also, we have to do the mathematical computation of calculating the area, right? But that's will go to the calculation. So that's how we can define what we measure. Some of the measurements we obtain them by combining experimental measurement or practical measurements of the physical quantity and the computation. Wonderful. Again, we say that measurement is a cornerstone of faith. Measurement is a cornerstone of science. It means that we have so many measurements in science, so many measurements in trade. Measurement is a cornerstone in technology. For example, in internet, we used to measure, just to say that the data rate. Okay, that means the amount of data which has been used during the access of the internet. Which sometimes it means that we measure it in terms of bits per second, right? Bit per second. So BP, BPS. So also in engineering, we have so many measurements. For example, maybe you want to measure the amount of the currents that flowing in the base terminal of the transistor. That's all about measurement. So you can measure the amount of current, okay, which is called the base current, which is small in terms of the microampere. Okay. Also in processing industries, for example, that you want to do the processing of clothes, or process industries or laser industry, then we do measurement there. Also, measurement is the cornerstones in design. If you want to be an excellent designer, right? Even tailoring, you have to be competent in measurement. Measurements also, it's important in maintenance. When you're doing the maintenance, it means that maybe you want to replace a certain structure, you have to make sure that you replace with equivalent height so that it cannot exceed or it cannot destroy the structure. In construction activities, for example, in Tanzania, we have so many construction activities that are going on right now. So it means engineers, technicians there, and artisans are always doing measurements on measuring different physical quantities. Also, measurements are the cornerstones in transportation. For example, that an aircraft is flying from Julius Kambarage Nyerere International Airport to Kilimanjaro International Airport, which is called Tikia. Then it means there are so many measurements has to be taken in considerations. And for example, the distance, the speed of the aircraft, then the speed of the wind. So that's an amount of the fuel required, right? Or the amount of the gas that run the engine. So there are so many different measurements have to be done for aircraft to fly. Also in quantitative research in many disciplines. So we engineers and scientists, we solve problems by doing quantitative and qualitative research, but most of our research are quantitative and numerical, means that we need to do something in many disciplines, and a good example is in engineering. Okay, wonderful. So, that is definitions of measurement. And that is the crucial importance of measurement. Okay. So let me give you some examples of measurements. And then I will take you to the next step of importance of measurement. Wonderful. Good news still coming. Don't tune off. Examples of measurement. Okay, measurement. So the first one. The first example of measurement, we say that a meter ruler can be used to measure the height of Sir Olenjolai. Olenjolai. Right? As the first example, this is the meter ruler. You can use this meter ruler or any other meter ruler to measure the height or to measure the length of the object. Okay? Again, a clock or a stopwatch. Okay, stopwatch or pocket watch. Okay, pocket watch can be used to measure time. So time in seconds, in minutes. So in seconds, in minutes, etc. It's just like there. You measure the height in meter, in centimeter, kilometer, etc. So another example of measurement, we say that beam balance can be used to measure the mass of a stone. Okay. Then number 4, a thermometer. Say thermometer. A thermometer can be used to measure the body temperature. Thermometer can be used to measure body temperature of the blood. Then the fifth example. Fifth example can say that Okay, that is what? Spring balance. What else? A speedometer. Speedometer can be used to measure. So speedometer can be used to measure the speed of a train, the speed of a vehicle, the speed of a bicycle, the speed of a motorcycle, the speed of a car. The speed of vehicle is a little bit, of a bicycle is a little bit challenging to measure it, but there are some advanced bicycles which could include sort of speedometer. But in cars and in motorcycles, this is used to measure the speed of the speed of cars or motorcycles. So those 5 examples, you can also find some other 5 examples and add up in the listing of those 5 examples. Okay, so what the origin of the word measurement? Origin of the word measurement. Origin of the word measurement. Origin of the word measurement. So the word measurement comes from the Greek word. The Greek word metro. So the Greek word metro. So it means that the word measurement comes from the Greek word metron, which means what? Limited proportion. Means limited what? Limited proportion. Proportion. So limited proportion. So the word measurement comes from the Greek word metron. So it comes from the Greek word called metros, which means that limited proportion. Okay, wonderful. So you know the origins of the word measurement. You know what the means of measurement. You know the examples of measurement. You know measurement is the cornerstone of what? Right now, let me teach you something important about measurement, which I want to teach you about the importance of measurement. What are the importances of measurement? I believe that you learned this concept during your Form 1 education, but possibly you have forgotten that. Let me remind you. And then we go into the next concepts about physical quantity. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let us go into the importance of measurement. Importance of what? Importance of measurement. Importance of measurement in physics or in science. So before I mention six importances of what of science of measurement, let me just give you these introductory sentences. Measurement measurement is perhaps one of the fundamental concepts in science. One of the fundamental concepts in what? In science. Okay? So measurement, perhaps one of the fundamental concepts in science. One of the fundamental concepts in science. So we say again, physicists we say that again, without the ability to measure. What do you think about the word if we don't have an ability to measure? Without the ability to measure, it will be difficult. It will be difficult for scientists to conduct experiments. And form series. So he said that without the ability to measure, it will be difficult for the scientists to conduct experiments and form theories. So this is the necessity, the fundamental importance of measurement. So without measurement, we physicists we could not do experiments, because experiments needs or require us to measure. Then without measurement, then we physicists cannot formulate theories, principles, and even laws. For example, the first Newton law is a result of what? Of measurement. First Newton law is a result of measurement. Second Newton law is a result of measurement. Okay? So we say that the law of conservation of momentum is a result of what? Of measurement. So the following are some importance of the following are some importances of what? Of measurement. Of measurement in physics. So the first one, measurement is used in science to measure different physical quantities. Measurement is used in science. Means that, for example, physics is science, or science in general, to measure magnitude and what? magnitude and size of what? Of physical quantities. Physical quantities. You say physical quantities will teach you, but it can give you some example. Measurement can be used in physics to measure about what? Length. Length is the one of physical quantity. Mass is another physical quantity. Weight is another physical quantity, etc. So that's the first importance. The second importance, we say that measurement is used in chemical industries to measure the quantities of chemicals. So measurement is used in what? In chemical industries measurement is used in chemical industries to measure the quantity of what? Of chemicals. So I think that we have to just admit this word physics. I know that it may bring confusion to you. Just admit, because you see chemistry here. So chemistry is not physics and physics is not chemistry. We said the importance. Okay? You can pause the video and then mention some importance of measurement that you remember. Measurements is used in construction activities such as bridge, houses, roads, etc. So measurement, the process of measurement is used in construction activities. Such as constructions of what? Of bridge, construction of bridges, constructions of houses, constructions of what? Of roads, constructions of railways, etc., etc., etc. So measurements are used there, right? Would you like to use measurements also in our daily life? Yeah, the answer is yes. So I love measurement. So whenever you think anything else, then you find measurement will come into play to help you to figure out what you're thinking about. Right? Then we have the fourth advantage. Fourth advantage of measurement. We said measurement is used in manufacturing activities. Measurement is used in manufacturing activities. So measurement is used in manufacturing activities. The fifth importance is what? Measurement is used in transport to know the distance between two points. Measurement is used in transport to measure. Okay, it's used in transport in different aspects to measure the distance, commonly to measure the distance between the two points. Between the 2 points. That is 4. Then the fifth applications measurements is used in this is the sixth importance. Measures is used in commerce. Measurement is used in commerce. So measurement is used in commerce. Measurement is used in what? In commerce. Okay, so that's all about the measurement. So in case you have any question about measurement, please don't hesitate to ask me that question, so ask the other students in the comment section. Okay? If you have any question about measurement, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section, and I will answer your question. So that you clear any kinds of doubt that you used it to experience, or you're experiencing right now when you're learning this topic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you read the name of the session, it is measurement of and physical quantities, or measurements of physical quantities. So let us focus on the physical quantity. Measurements, we've been thinking how we can measure something. But what are we measuring? That's the next question. What are we measuring? How do we call what we are measuring? And how can we measure it? And what are the international ways of measuring measuring that thing or that object? So let us go into the next concept, which is called the physical quantity. Say with me, physical quantity. Say it again with power, physical quantity. Again, say physical quantity. Physical quantity. So let us cover about this physical quantity. Quickly, as well as we can cover it. So the fundamental question that we have, what is physical quantity? What the meaning of physical quantity? What is physical quantity? What is physical quantity? That's the fundamental question that we have. So simply say that physical quantity is a property of a material. So this is the property of a material or system physical quantity is the property of a material or system that can be quantified, quantified by measurement. So physical quantity is a property of material or system that can be quantified by measurement. So this is the property of what? Of a material or system that can be quantified by measurement. So what does it mean about quantify? Quantify, the word quantify is come from quantity. So it means measurement can give that physical quantity the quantity, right? The number. That means of physical quantity, the numerical value. So it means that physical quantity is anything which can be measured by the instruments. So when we say that we're doing measurement, we are measuring physical quantities. We are measuring magnitude and size of physical quantity. So the physical quantity itself is a property of a material or system that can be quantified by what? By measurement. Let me give you some examples of physical quantities. Because if I give you examples of physical quantities, then it can simplify and eliminate any kinds of confusion about physical quantities. And examples of physical quantity is the fundamental mass, which I believe that you know. The second example of physical quantity is L. Another common one is time. You know, another physical quantity is temperature. So when we're talking about physical quantity, we're talking about temperature. Another one is force. Okay, another one is what is weight. Weight is another physical quantity. Then another physical quantity is current. Current means current electricity. Another physical quantity is voltage. Voltage is a physical quantity. Then another physical quantity is torque. Torque. Another physical quantity is acceleration. Acceleration. Another physical quantity is speed. Okay. Another physical quantity is what? For example, that. Okay. So extension. Extension is the physical quantity. Okay. Another physical quantity is heat. Is heat, etc., etc. So now, through definition of physical quantity and examples, you know what the meaning of what for physical quantity. So, if those are the examples of physical quantities, means that in measurement we are measuring those physical quantities by using the respective instruments. Then the next question comes to in your mind right now is it enough to measure the magnitude? What if just we know the magnitude of the physical quantity? Is it enough in physics? The answer is no, it's not enough. Because we don't have a comparisons. And we define that measurement. In measurements we compare the magnitude and size of the physical quantity which is not known with the magnitude and size of the physical quantity which is known and called as a standard. Right? And called as what? A standard. So another thing that you have to cover, which is going. So ladies and gentlemen, we have another important question, which is we have to ask ourselves, what is unit of measurement? Because this is the cornerstone also of the measurement. So I found 3 definitions. You see how do I love you? Tell your neighbors, Olenjolai, I love you so much. And then I want to tell you that this is a national program. It's not just a certain government school programs or private school programs. This is the national program. The main focus is to reach and teach and just entertain and even just motivate and encourage Tanzanian students who would like to pursue advanced education, and sometimes they encounter so many challenges. Maybe their parents, they cannot afford the cost of advanced secondary educations. So, and maybe sometimes they have a scarcity of teachers, so these programs comes into play. Or maybe they have teachers, but they are not doing their part. Okay? But another thing that because it's focused on the national level, we like to get feedback from our students to know where have we reached. By God's grace, these programs right now we are doing it in Dar es Salaam, one of the cities of Tanzania. But we have also more than that. We have 31 regions in Tanzania. So we'd like to ask you who is watching this program right now, please write in the comment section. You are enjoying these contents from which regions of Tanzania. If you're an international viewer, you're only welcome. Advanced physics is a universal subject. So because that you love and you've found something that you've been looking for a long time, so we ask you also, give us feedback in the comment section. First, write to us whether do you understand what we are teaching you or should you improve something else. Put in the comment section, please, here. Okay? There, you see comments there. You can write. And then, another thing that give us feedback. You are enjoying these contents from which region, in which city, in which country. We'll be happy if you do that. Because from there, we'll be getting the practical confirmation of the picture that God has given me more than 2 years ago about teaching hundreds or thousands, hundreds to thousands to millions of advanced secondary students about the beauty of advanced physics, advanced chemistry, advanced mathematics, and basic applied mathematics. That's what the Lord has shown me. That's what I saw 2 years before I began this program. I'm teaching millions of advanced secondary students of present and future generation. Right? So make sure that you write for me. Just write there in the comment section. And just even myself to hear from you. Wonderful. Just like you hear from me. Because I know you have a good news. And also, you can write in the comment section the testimony. How is this program help you to understand advanced physics? How have you been encouraged? What problems did this program solve upon you? How did you find our contents compared to what you used to find in the street? Write in the comments. So in the comment section, write 3 things. Give us feedback, whether you understand us or you don't understand us. Number 2, write us your location, your physical location. You enjoy this content from which regions, from which city, from which country. Right? And then number 3, write for us. For international, just write for us the city and the country. And number 3, write a testimony, a short testimony for us and for others, students, so that they can get it and just they understand how this material are powerful and impacting the life of advanced secondary students. Thank you for doing that. Okay. So the first definitions of unit of measurement, we say that a unit of measurement is a definite magnitude. So this is the definite magnitude. Defined magnitude of the quantity. Defined and adopted. So that quantity is defined and adopted by convention. By what? Convention or by law. By convention or by law. That is used as a standard. That is used as a standard for measurement. That is used as a standard for measurement of the sum of the same kind of what? Of quantity. So this is adopted by law or by convention. That is used as a standard. So the standard we mentioned in the definitions of measurement are this one we are studying right now. For measurement of the same kind of quantity. That is one way, or that is one way that you can define the term unity of measurement. Again, you can define a unity of measurement. You can define a unit of measurement. A unit of measurement is a unity that provides a unit that provides. So a unit of measurement is a unit that provides what? So a unit of measurement is a unity that provides the specific meaning to the magnitude of a substance. So simply say that a unit, okay? So it means that a unit now provides specific meaning to the magnitude of the substance. When we say substance, means to the magnitude of the physical quantity. That meaning. So it says substance represents what? Magnitude of the physical quantity. So it means that having the magnitude of the physical quantity without unity is meaningless. The specific meaning will be given by having the magnitude of the physical quantity and its unity. That is good news for the physicists. Okay, again, I said no. I have to look if there is another definitions of what, or another way of defining the word unity of measurement. So we say, a unity of measurement is a basic standard. This is the basic standard that is used usually to identify the physical quantity. The physical quantity. The physical quantity. So a unit of measurement is the basic standard. So this is the basic standard that is used to identify the physical quantity. So a unit of measurement is a basic standard that used to identify physical quantity. So it's the basic standard. So this is the standard that used to identify the physical quantity. It means that if, for example, a rate, let's say 20 seconds, you know this the magnitude and unit of what this means that this what the name of this physical quantity? It's time. When I write that I have 3 kilograms, so you see it. What the names of this physical quantity? It's mass. When I write that you have 20 centimeters, what the names of this physical quantity? Maybe distance, height, or length. Right? So simply it is length. Right? So it means that you see the contributions of unity in meaning of physical quantity. I believe that you've understood. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. So let me mention to you some examples. Examples of what? Examples of units. Examples of unity in physics. In physics. So the examples of unity in physics, we have what? Kilogram. We have what? Meter. We have what? Seconds. Second. We have what? Tons. Ton. We have what? Newton. We have what? Okay, Newton. So Newton. We have Pascal. Unit for pressure. And Pascal. We have what? So example of units. So you have Pascal. Then we have what? We have ampere. We have coulomb. Again, you have what? Coulomb. We have what? We have voltage. Volts. Right? You have volts. That's another. It's a unit of what? A voltage. We have what? Ohm. It's a unit. We have what? Milli-ohm. No, we have mega-ohm. Or we have kilo-ohm. Okay, kilo-ohm. And then so again we have what? So we have meter, we have kilogram, we have Kelvin. This is the unit of temperature. Okay. So then we have what? We have watts or watt. We have joule, etc., etc. So these are the list of units of measurements that you need them to master measurements. Remember that I told you that in this, in the first 5 sessions of measurement, I'll be teaching you slowly, because I know in your pre-form 5, I want to shift your mindset slowly from what you have been thinking or from the or level of thought into advanced thought. So from there we'll get into the kind of intermediate speed where that within an hour we cover number of concepts, but systematically, right? So just I want to prepare your mindset, because I know that you've been learning stuff slowly, but have to make sure that you increase your speed and your capacity of the brain to handle many things at a time. So you have to know this. So if we have seen the necessity of the physical quantity, a unit of measurement, then what can we conclude? So I say that in physics, a physical quantity or measurement of physical quantity means a physical quantity is expressed as the combinations of of the numerical value of measurement of the object and unit of measurement. So not before. So it's in physics and even in science, in physics, the measurement of any physical quantity. Measurements of any physical quantity. The measurements of any physical quantity is expressed as combination of what? Combination. So this is expressed as combination of. So it's a combination of what? Combination of magnitude of physical quantity of numerical value of a physical quantity so numerical value of a physical quantity, numerical value of a physical quantity and what? And unit of measurement. Unit of measurement. So unit of what? Of measurement. So in physics, the measurement of any physical quantity is expressed as combination. So this one is expressed as combination of what? Combinations of numerical value of the physical quantity and unity of what? Of measurement. What does that sentence mean? It means that the measurements of any physical quantity, we have to expect to see numerical value of the physical quantity and unit of measurement. Let me present mathematically. What does it mean? It means that measurement, that sentence means that measurement of a physical quantity. Of a physical quantity. This is equal to what? This is equal to numerical value. Numerical value of a physical quantity plus what? Unit of measurement. Unit of 40 of measurement. Very important principle. Not any books that have explained about this formula, but this is according to too much reading and too much searching on the relationship between unity and the physical quantity, the magnitude of physical quantity. So measure of physical quantity is just a combination of numerical value of physical quantity and what? And the unity. And the unity of 40 followed by a unity of 40 of measurement. It's not just like this is just like a combination, right? So simply in writing, it means that we say maybe if the mass is 20 kilograms. So it means that these are the consecutive. So the number and the unity are consecutive terms. What does it mean? Example, say that the mass of a chalk that I'm writing, the mass of this chalk is 3 grams. Okay, so that is simple example. So 3, it's a magnitude. That's what we call the numerical value or magnitude. So we are talking about magnitude or size of the physical quantity. And this one, it's unit. Right? So that's the first example. Then we said that in second example, Olenjolai teaches measurement measurements in 1 hour and in 30 minutes. So you see that we have 1 hour and 30 minutes. So 30 minutes. So this is magnitude of time that I spent on teaching you measurement. Okay? And this is what? The unit of hour. And this is magnitude in terms of minutes. And this is the unit, it's minutes. So this is easily for other physicists to understand about your measurements or about what you are saying scientifically. So you see that we have so many examples in different aspects. Okay, to set the example, we may say that, again we say that Olenjolai bought 30 kilograms of sugar at Chalinze. At the third example, Olenjolai bought 30 kilograms of sugar of Chalinze. This is the magnitude in mass, or magnitude of the physical quantity called mass, and this is the unit which is called the kilogram. Okay, the third example of combinations of magnitude of the physical quantity and what is, and the unit is, we say that okay, another interesting example, we say that the height, the radius, we see in gravitation, the radius of the S, the radius of the S is 6,400 kilometers. Okay, the radius of the S is 6,400 kilometers. So this is magnitude and this is unit. Right? Then we say that, another example, we say the gravitational force, or we call it acceleration, the acceleration due to gravity, this we call it G, is 9.8 Newton per kilogram. Newton per kilogram. So those are the 5 examples. So you see that this is magnitude, this is unit. Okay? So that is acceleration due to the gravity. So, and we have so many examples. The point here, we have to remember magnitude, unit. Magnitude, unit. What if we say that Mama Olenjolai bought 30 of sugar at Chalinze? You won't understand, and we have additional questions. 30 in what? In which magnitude? In which unit? 30 kilogram, 30 mangoes, is that the number 40? Then again, what do you think that if I come and find you, my beloved student, physicists have done experiments and measurement and found that the radius of the S is 6,400. Then the next question is 6,400 in what? Centimeter, miles, inches. So you have so many questions, but when I say that it's 6,400 kilometers, then I've answered your fundamental question. Right? So that is what you have to you have to understand. Remember that I told you the heart of TOASO, Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School, is understanding. So before I end this session, which is session 2, okay, I would like to teach you very important concept about units, and then this will be the end of the session. But I leave the homework for you. Okay. So the concept that I have to teach you is, it's not new, but it's better for you to remind. Just say to international system of units. International system of what? Of units. National system of units, which we call in short SI unit. I know that you know so many things about international unity or the international system of units, but let us remind ourselves so you avoid any kinds of confusion, any kinds of guessing. Why should you guess? So international system of unity, SI unit. The fundamental question is, what is SI or what is international system of unity? What is international? What is international system? What is international system of units? What is international system of units? Of all units. The international system of units international system of units or SI unit is a metric system. So this is called the metric system. It's a metric system that is used universally. It's used universally as a standard for measurement. As a standard for measurements. So the international system of units is a metric system that used universally as a standard for what? For measurements. So the international system of units is a metric system that is used universally as a standard for what? For different measurements. Okay, for measurements. So SI unity. Then the word SI unity is the abbreviations, because this is we call it international system of units. Why do we call it SI unit? Why should you not call it IS unit? This is the answer. The title there is called International System of Units. If you want to write its abbreviation, we could call it IS unit. Why is it called SI instead of IS? Can you answer? Is there any students who can answer me that question? Why do you call that one SI? Because it is International System of Unit. So it means you should call it IS unit. Why do you call it SI? So the answer is the SI is come from the French word, which means international system. No, a system international. System international. System. So it's a unit is the abbreviations of the French word system international. System international. At the French word. International is female word because in French nouns have gender. Wonderful. So as a unity is the French word, okay? French word, the abbreviations of the French word. So as a unity is an abbreviation of the French word system is an accent A, because this A has an accent. System enter, system international, system international. So system international, in English we call it international system, while in French we call it system international. So that's why we call it SCI unit. The meaning of the word SCI unit is system international. It's not an English word, it's a French word. So in English you can say it as international system of units. System international de unit. If you want just to finish. System international de unit. That's the meaning of international system of unit. The unit. Okay, so that is about the beauty of French language and English language. So let me give you some examples of unity and the session there. Examples of SCI unit. So example of SCI unity. So we can have the physical quantity here, but you have mass. It's SCI unity is kilogram. You have time. It's SCI unity is what? Time. It's SCI unity is second. You have what? We have again what? Length. It's SCI unity is what? Length. It's SCI unity is meter. Then you have what? Current. It's SCI unity is what? Ampere. Then you have what? Voltage. SCI unity is what? Volt. Then have what? Force. SCI unity is what? Newton. Okay, Newton. Then you have what? Charge. SCI unity is what? It is what? Coulomb. It's Coulomb. Then you have what? Torque. SCI unity is what? Newton meter. Okay, that's the center of torque. Then you have what? Acceleration. Should be very physical quantity says unit of meter per second square. Okay, so maybe to symbolize, however, that the advanced students have already understood. So those are the examples of what you face in physics. So it's a time for the homework. So this is homework 3 or 2. Homework 2. Homework 2. And this is example 2. Example 2 is describe briefly the meaning of fundamental quantity, physical quantity with 7 what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 examples. 8 of 7 examples. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of session 2, which is about the measurement of physical quantities or measurements and physical quantities. The way you call it is fine. Okay? So I thank God who has created me in his own image, but before I end this session, I have just a couple of announcements. Very important announcement, so you should not tune off. You have to stay tuned until we say goodbye or bye-bye. Then from there, we can go to the next session, which will be session 3. So I'd like to invite you, join me firstly into the session 3, when we'll be starting to deal with the concepts of just the test of the physical quantities. We'll be finishing about test of physical quantities. We'll be answering the homework too, and then we'll be teaching more about the dimension in the next session as one of the branch of measurements that you have to study in advanced physics. So the first announcement that I would like to announce to you, or to let you know, is all about what? This is all about To'al. To'al means that we have also Tanzania online advanced library, where we have to equip our students with essential materials for them to go further as well as they can. The first reference material is the book called Physics Syllabus for Advanced Secondary Education from 5 through from 6. This is a very important book for you. So you have to make sure you have it in your hand, and then you start enjoying it. And you can order this book in any regions among the 31 regions of Tanzania with only a price of 15,000, which is less compared to the price of the many local shops. So you can have this book. We recommend for every Form 5, every pre-Form 5 students, every Form 5 students, every Form 6 students, every advanced researcher students should have this book, because really show you and demonstrate to you what you have to cover in advanced physics, and even just to eliminate so many important concepts that you are going through, or you are learning, or you are reading day after day, which are not a part of this syllabus. This syllabus has been prepared for advanced physics in Tanzania. If you're watching this program from United States of America, then you should know the syllabus of physics for advanced secondary education in your country. And then once you've known the contents, you come into ASO in order to extract the contents that are relevant for you, because you cannot learn everything. Then another reference book that you can order different textbooks, and one of the textbooks that you can order in our TOAL or in our library, in our advanced secondary library, you can order the book we call Chapter 1. Okay? So Chapter 1. So this is called the Principles of Physics. So as Chandi Principles of Physics, these are the answers. This book in India has been used for the class 11 students, and this is Chandi 1. Or this is for the class 11, but there's also Chandi 2. It's commonly called the Chandi in Tanzania. Chandi 2 does cover topics of the Form 6. This covers topics of Form 5. There are so many concepts of mechanics in this book, more than you think. But now, if you have the syllabus, and then you have this book, you won't be confused, because I know many students, whenever you see that, you need at least 4 or 5 reference books of advanced physics of this size, then they get afraid that they will get confused, because they cannot study even this book, even one of this book itself, and finish. The answer of that, don't worry, should not worry, because you are not going to study everything from this book. Some of the concepts are outside, means that some of the concepts are outside of our Tanzanian syllabus. So that's why that if you have this syllabus, you know what you should learn. You go into this book, you learn what you are supposed to learn, and you learn what it has been recommended by Tanzanian Institute of Education. So this is Chandi 1, there is also Chandi 2. The Chandi 1 costs, you can order this book in any of the 21 regions. So you can use as a reference book, so you can have your home library. And this is costing 45,000 for Chandi 1, and for Chandi 2, costing 50,000, which is less than the price in the local, most local markets. Again, we like to keep our students with questions and answers, question and answers book. The advanced physics exam, national exam, which you call the advanced certificate secondary education examination, contain 3 papers. paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. So this is the it's a review book. It's a cost advanced physics review, questions and answers from 2003 through 2016. This is advanced physics to review, questions and answers from 2006 through 2020. So you can order this book. I'm going to use every of this book. These are the sample books. You can order. This costs only 17,000 and this one costs also 17,000. So make sure that you order these books so that you can have your home library of the books also. You should not only have the exercise books and the lecture notes from Sir Olenjolai itself. You need also books in order to go further and further. Again, how can you order this book? That's a good question. You have to send your SMS. Just send the SMS. Don't call, because right now when I'm teaching, my phone is off. So you will send an SMS through this telephone number 0759 745331 and then explain, present to me your demand. What do you need to buy in our library? And when you we ask us, then we'll make sure we contact you and we make the business successful. Okay? Another announcement is last announcement. I know that you are supposed to have to pay a lot amount of money for you to get these contents. But our Father who is in heaven has already paid for you. So he's the founder and sponsor of this program. So he's in charge. That's why that you're receiving this content free of charge. It's not because I wanted to offer them free, because my manufacturer, my Father who is in heaven, asked me to do so. But against, he opened the doors for every student or every parent or every guardian who want to bless God with free, willing thanksgiving offering, or any type of thanksgiving offering, with covenant offering, with educational offering, with actually with the tithes, any kinds of the offering that you want to offer God through this program. The doors are open, and then God will bless you according to what He said in His own word. So you may send your free thanksgiving to that telephone number, and to be used effectively to pay for the running cost, very high running cost, so that in more than 600 videos of advanced physics, advanced chemistry, advanced mathematics, basic applied mathematics, Form 5 and Form 6 will be recorded and then will be published into the public and be accessed at any time and anywhere. That's what our main objective. That is a day when you find that the students, there's no need for them to go to school. They can just learn everything that at home. So that's very important announcement. But you can offer an amount. But in case you don't feel from your heart that you want to offer a free Thanksgiving, don't worry about anything. Don't think that because I didn't offer my free Thanksgiving in the previous session, so it means now in the next session I won't have success. No, that is completely not true. Okay? Again, we ask you to use the comment section to submit your homework, to ask you questions, to give me feedback, to tell us where is your location. See, you can use just the comment sections also to exchange and establish the group discussion. So until we meet in session 3, when I'll teach about types of physical quantities and start teaching about dimension, may God bless you. This is Olenjolai from Tanzania. I love you so much. Keep enjoying the beauty of advanced physics, and keep thinking how you can apply this information to solve real life problems. So may God bless you. Mungu ibariki Tanzania, tumesha